what is the time required to reduce that initial concentration? For first order reaction, we got the integrated rate equation as K is equal to, if you see the equation here, you have methyl acetate CH3COO CH3, R to the power 0, anything to the power 0 is unity. You are doing the perfect substitution as well as the calculation, you will be getting 1 mark. Hello my dear students, welcome back to the session 4 on the chapter Chemical Kinetics. Last class we had studied about integrated rate equation of first order as well as zero order reaction. Today we learn about half-life of first order and zero order reaction. Okay. So what do you mean by half-life? For example, if the initial concentration of the reactant is 1 molar, that is 1 mole per dm cube of reactants we have. Okay. What is the time required to reduce that initial concentration to its half? That is, what is the time duration which is required to convert 1 molar to 0.5 molar? That time duration, what it took, is called as half-life period. So what is the definition? We'll see. Half-life of a reaction is the time in which the concentration of the reactant is reduced to 1/2 of its initial concentration. So what is it? It is the time in which the concentration of the reactant is reduced to 1/2 of its initial concentration. It is represented by T half, or we can also write it as T 50% or sometimes even T 0.5. Okay. So these are the different way of representing half-life. So first we are going to learn about half-life for zero order reaction. Last class we had derived the integrated rate equation for zero order reaction, and what is the equation we got? It is K is equal to R naught minus R by T. Here what is R naught? It is the initial concentration, and R is the concentration of the reactant after time T. That is, what is the concentration remaining after the duration of time T. Okay. So this is the integrated rate equation which we derived. Now we will consider at T is equal to T half. We will consider this time is nothing but T half. So what will happen to initial concentration? That should also be half, isn't it? So R will be half of R naught. So if this is T half, what will be R? That is the remaining concentration at T half, isn't it? At what is the remaining concentration? That is initial concentration divided by 2, isn't it? So now if we substitute these two in the integrated rate equation, what we will get? K is equal to R naught, I write as it is. Instead of R, what do we have to write? Half R naught. So minus half R naught divided by, instead of T we are writing it as T half. So if I solve this, I will get it as, see, T half I am writing it as it is. So common LCM will be 2. So I will get it as 2 R naught minus R naught, isn't it? So 2 R naught minus R naught is R naught by 2. So just rearranging this, we will get it as T half is equal to R naught by 2K. What we have done is T half I have taken it on to the other side, K I have got it to the denominator, and R naught by 2 I have it from here, isn't it? So my formula for half-life or zero order reaction is T half is equal to R naught by 2K. Now what can you understand from this particular expression? That is, half-life of a zero order reaction is directly proportional to the initial concentration and inversely proportional to the rate constant. So what is it? Half-life is directly proportional to the initial concentration. That is, if the initial concentration increases, even the half-life period for a zero order reaction will increase. So they are directly proportional, but they are inversely proportional to what? To the rate constant. So this is the derivation which can be asked for 2 marks. It's very important. Okay, it can be asked for 2 marks. So you have to start from here. For a zero order reaction, the rate constant is given by equation, and then you have to write the entire derivation. Okay. Sometimes, just to confuse you all, instead of asking the direct question like derive an expression for half-life of a zero order reaction, they can also ask the question as prove that half-life of a zero order reaction is directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reactants and inversely proportional to the rate constant. So the question itself can be asked this way. So I hope you will be able to understand if they just twist the question and ask, and I hope you will answer it. Okay. So we'll see the half-life for first order reaction. For first order reaction, we got the integrated rate equation as K is equal to 2.303 by T log of R naught by R, where R naught is the initial concentration and R is the concentration of the reactant after time T. Now if I consider T to be T half, then the molar concentration of R is nothing but initial concentration by 2, that is half of the initial concentration. So R will be equal to R naught by 2. Now if I substitute this in the above equation, what will we get? K is equal to 2.303. Instead of T, I have written as T half log of R naught as it is. Instead of R, we are writing it as R naught by 2. Now, what will happen? Here, R naught and R naught gets cancelled. Now, remember, this is divide by 2. When we reciprocate, it will go into the numerator and you will get it as log 2. Correct? Then, T half we have taken on to the left hand side and K it has come to the denominator. So T half is equal to 2.303 by K log 2. I hope you understood this step where R naught and R naught gets cancelled and 2 will go into the numerator and you will get it as log 2. What is log 2 value? 0.3010. Correct? So substituting that value of log 2 into 2.303 by K. If I multiply these two, I'll get it as 0.693 by K. So half-life of the first order reaction is equal to 0.693 by K. Now from this expression, what can you understand? You can understand that there is no initial concentration term at all, isn't it? So half-life of a first order reaction is independent of the initial concentration of the reactant. I'll repeat, half-life of a first order reaction is independent of the initial concentration of the reactants, because we can see that there is only one number 0.693 and that's divided by K. But half-life is inversely proportional to the rate constant, isn't it? So it can be seen that for the first order reaction, half-life period is constant, that is, it is independent of the initial concentration of the reacting species. Okay. Now for zero order reaction, half-life is directly proportional to the initial concentration, inversely proportional to the rate constant. For first order reaction, half-life is independent of the initial concentration but inversely proportional to the rate constant. Okay, so here also this question again is important for 2 marks, or sometimes even they can ask for 3 marks as well, but they can twist the question and ask that prove that half-life period of a first order reaction is independent of the initial concentration. Okay, so either they can ask direct question, derive the expression for half-life of the first order reaction, or they can twist and ask. You have to take care, read the question properly and then you can answer. Okay, so that's about these two derivations. Next, we are going to learn about pseudo first order reaction. Now, what do you mean by pseudo first order reaction? Pseudo means what? It means false. So, what is this first order reaction which is false? Now, pseudo first order reaction means actually that reaction is not a first order reaction, but you are changing the conditions such that you are converting it into a first order reaction. That's why the word pseudo has come. So, we will see the definition. A reaction whose molecularity is more than 1 but the order is 1. Okay, or higher molecular reactions follow first order kinetics. Such reactions are called as pseudo first order reaction. So, this can be one way of giving the definition, or we can also tell that a reaction which involves 2 or more molecules of reactant but order is 1 is called as pseudo first order reaction. Or we can also tell that the higher order reaction is converted into the first order reaction, then we call such reactions as pseudo first order reaction. Okay, but for exam you have to write either of one definition. Okay, whichever is easy for you all to remember, you can write that. Now, examples, what it is. See, first example is acid hydrolysis of methyl acetate. If you see the equation here, you have methyl acetate CH3COO CH3 with water. Okay, acid hydrolysis. So, water is there in the presence of acid. What happens is CH3COOH will be formed and CH3OH. You will get an acetic acid and you will get methanol. Okay, so this is the reaction. Now, rate if I write, okay, K is equal to H2O to the power 0 and CH3COO CH3 to the power 1. So, order will be 1 plus 0 which is equal to 1. Now, why have we taken H2O as 0 to the power 0? What we are doing is, methyl acetate we are taking in small quantity compared to water. Water is taken in large excess. So, that's how you are converting a higher order reaction to a first order reaction. Now, for example, you have taken just 10 ml of methyl acetate, but you have taken water 1 liter. So, with that 10 ml of methyl acetate, when it is getting converted, if it just uses somewhere around 10 ml of water from 1 liter of water, do you think that concentration of water will actually affect the rate of the reaction? No, because water is in large excess. That's how we are converting a higher order reaction to first order reaction. If water is taken in small quantity, then it may not follow first order kinetics. So, out of the 2 reactants which we have, one is taken in large excess so that a higher order reaction is converted to a first order reaction. That's why the word pseudo is used. Okay. So, this is first example. Next example is inversion of sucrose. So, we have taken cane sugar which is nothing but sucrose C12H22O11 with water in the presence of acid. You will get glucose and fructose. So here also the water is taken in large excess so that the concentration of water almost remains constant throughout and it will not affect the rate of the reaction. Okay, so the rate can be written as K C12H22O11. Nothing is written here, that means the power is 1 and the order of this reaction is 1. So I hope you have understood what is the meaning of pseudo first order reaction. Okay. Next one. Here I have put up a chart for you all just for revision. That is, I have given everything for zero order and first order reaction till now, whatever you have studied, because it's very important for us to solve the numericals. Okay, and also this chart will help you all for your competitives just to remember everything at one go. Okay, so order for zero order reaction we are taking it as R giving P, reactants and products. So what is the differential rate law? That is dR by dt is equal to minus K. Okay, because R to the power 0, anything to the power 0 is unity. So you will get it as dR by dt is equal to minus K. Integrated rate law is Kt is equal to R naught minus R, or you can also remember as K is equal to R naught minus R by T. Okay. Straight line plot, if you put, it is molar concentration of R versus T, you will get a straight line. Okay, and what is the half-life? T half is equal to R naught by 2K. Unit of rate constant is mole per liter per second, or it can be remembered as concentration per time. Okay, next is for first order reaction R giving P. For this, if I write the differential rate law, it will be dR by dt is equal to minus KR. Then integrated rate expression is Kt is equal to ln R naught by R, or I can remember it as K is equal to 2.303 by T log of R naught by R. This equation, if I rearrange and compare it with straight line equation, then we will get this plot. Ln R versus T you will get, and half life is ln 2 by K, or half life is 0.693 by K. Okay. Now why is this ln 2 by K? See, natural logarithm to convert to log base 10 you will take 2.303. Log 2 is 0.3010. So you will have to multiply, then only you will get it as 0.693. So it is the other way of writing. Okay, it is very important for your competitives to know different forms of the same expression. Is it clear? So it is very important for you all to understand all these techniques and tricks. Next, unit of rate constant is per time or per second, per minute or per hour. Okay, so I hope you have just revised all of that which we have studied, that especially the integrated rate equation, the rate expression and half-life. Okay. Next, we will solve some of the numericals. So, I will read the question for you all. The initial concentration of N2O5 in the following first order reaction, N2O5 giving 2NO plus half O2. So, the equation is given. Also, what is given here? They have told it is first order reaction. Okay. So, the initial concentration was 1.24 into 10 power minus 2 mole per liter at 318 Kelvin. The concentration of N2O5 after 60 minutes was 0.20 into 10 power minus 2 mole per liter. Calculate the rate constant of the reaction at 318 Kelvin. So, first what we have to do is read the question, understand the question. Then first write down what is the data available from this question. I know it is a first order reaction and initial concentration R naught is 1.24 into 10 to the power minus 2 mole per liter. Okay. Then also we know time is 60 minutes. T is 60 minutes. Then after 60 minutes, what was the concentration remaining? 0.20 into 10 to the power minus 2 mole per liter. So molar concentration, that is R, that is after 60 minutes, what was remaining is 0.20 into 10 to the power minus 2 mole per liter. What am I supposed to calculate here? Calculate the rate constant. So I am supposed to calculate K. So this is the data what I got from the question which was given. Okay. Now, first order reaction they have told, very clear, you have to calculate what? Rate constant. So you have to use the integrated rate equation. So K is equal to 2.303 by T log of R naught by R. So this is the integrated rate equation. I know R naught value, I know R value, I know T value. So I can solve this problem, isn't it? It's quite easy provided you know how to use the log book. Okay, time is 60 minutes. Log of 1.24 into 10 to the power minus 2 divide by 0.20 into 10 to the power minus 2. 10 to the power minus 2 gets cancelled. 1.24 divided by 0.20 is 2.303 by 60 log of 6.2. Now how do we see the log values? For this you need to have a log table with you. Okay, I'll just give you the guidance how to use the log book. Okay, I've already taught you all in the first year how to use your log book. Still, once again we shall brush up. So log of 6.2. Before the decimal point there is how many numbers? Only one number is there. Correct, no? So my value will be 0. If there are two numbers before the decimal point, then 1 point something will be your value. So before the decimal point I have one number, so it is 0. Then what you have to do? Use your log book 62 under 0. Why under 0? Because after this I don't have any numbers, isn't it? So 62 under 0. You will get it as 7924. Isn't it? So it is 0.7924. So this is the value. It's quite easy. Okay. So it is 2.303 by 60 into 0.7924. So if you solve this, you will be getting the answer as 0.0304 per minute. Why per minute? Time is in what? It is in minutes, isn't it? That's why it's per minute. So I hope you have understood how to solve. Now for example, this question is asked for your exam for 3 marks. How will you get the marks? That is, for writing the equation here, the formula here, you will be awarded 1 mark. Then for correct substitution, you are doing the perfect substitution as well as the calculation, you will be getting 1 mark. Then the final answer with the unit, you will be awarded 1 mark. Okay, this is how we will correct any numericals which is given. So that's the scheme of valuation. Okay, so this is the first problem. I hope you have understood. We'll solve the next problem. 75% of first order reaction is completed in 30 minutes. Calculate the rate constant of the reaction. So again, it is given first order reaction. How much is complete? 75% is complete. In what time? 30 minutes. So calculate the rate constant of a reaction. So here also you are supposed to calculate K. Now they have not given here initial concentration or the concentration after 30 minutes, isn't it? But they have given us that 75% of the first order reaction is completed in 30 minutes, isn't it? So what are we going to get? Whenever percentage is given, remember we'll take the initial concentration to be 100. Okay, whenever it is given in percentage like this. Okay, then what will be our 75% is complete in what time? 30 minutes. So time is given as 30 minutes. Okay, so 75 complete agogide, it's completed. So 100 minus 75, how much you will get? 25 will be R value, not 75. Okay, because 75% is completed, R is the remaining concentration after time t, isn't it? 75 is utilized. So out of 100, what will remain? Only 25% will remain. That's why it is 25. Okay, now we will substitute in the formula, that is K is equal to 2.303 by T log of R naught by R. Okay, so it is 2.303 time is 30 log of 100 by 25. So you will get it as 2.303 by 30 into log 4. Now what is log 4 value? I told you all from log 2 to log 9 you have to know it by heart, because it will be very helpful for you all for your competitive exams. So what is log 4 value? So log 4 value is 0.6021. You can see your log book, that is your log table, 40 under 0. You will get it as 6021. But we have log 4, isn't it? So it is 0.6021. Okay. So we'll substitute 2.303 by 30 into 0.6021. So if I solve this, I'll get the answer as 0.0462 per minute. Why per minute? Because time is given in minutes. Okay. So I hope you have understood how to solve such problems. We'll see the next numerical. A first order reaction is found to have a rate constant K is equal to 5.5 into 10 to the power minus 14 per second. Calculate the half-life of the reaction, or find the half-life of the reaction. So they've given the K value, you're supposed to find out T half, and it is given that it is a first order reaction. It's a very simple problem. It can be asked for 2 marks. So we know the formula as T half is equal to 0.693 by K. K value is given. I have to substitute here 0.693. K is 5.5 into 10 to the power minus 14 per second. Okay. Now 0.693 divided by 5.5, I will get it as 0.126 into 10 to the power minus 14. When I take it to the numerator, what will happen? It will become 10 to the power 14 plus 14. Okay, seconds. So this is the answer. You can keep it as it is, or you can move the points and write it as 1.26 into 10 to the power 13 per second also. Okay. So I hope you have understood how to solve this. It's very simple problem. Okay. Next question. Rate constant of a first order reaction is 6.93 into 10 to the power minus 3 per minute. calculate the half-life period. So what is given? It is told that it is a first order reaction and they have given the rate constant value. Supposed to calculate T half. So what is the formula? It is T half is equal to 0.693 by K. K value is given already. So T half is equal to 0.693 by 6.93 into 10 to the power minus 3. So when I solve this, I'll get it as 0.1 into, when I take this to the numerator, it will be 10 to the power 3. Answer is in minutes because here it is in per minute. So I hope you have understood. This is similar to the previous one. So next problem, we'll see what we have. Show that in a first order reaction, time required for completion of 99.9% is 10 times of half-life of the reaction. So here they are asking us to prove that T 99.9% is 10 times T half. We have to prove this. So how will we start? We'll take that K is equal to 2.303 by T log of R naught by R. Okay. This is my first equation. Now at T is equal to T 99.9%, I will take. R naught is 100, whereas R is 100 minus 99.9, which is equal to 0.1. Correct? Yes or no? So now substituting this in the above equation, I'll get it as K is equal to 2.303 by T 99.9% log of 100 by 0.1. So log 100 by 0.1. What is 100 divided by 0.1? It is 1000, isn't it? So I will get this as K is equal to 2.303 by T 99.9% log 1000. Now log 1000, I'll write it as log of 10 to the power 3. Log a to the power b is b log a. So this will be 3 log 10. So 3 log 10, the value is 3. Log 10 is 1, isn't it? So I'll get this as T 99.9% is equal to 2.303 by K. I've just rearranged. Okay. Log 1000 is what? It is 3. So this I will take it as equation 1. Okay. Then I need half-life. Half-life, I already know the formula, 0.693 by K. This is my second equation. Now I will take as equation 1 divide by equation 2. So it will be T 99.9% divide by T half is equal to 2.303 into 3 by K divide by 0.693 by K. K and K gets cancelled. So if I solve this, what will I get? T 99.9% divide by T half is equal to 2.303 into 3 divide by 0.693 will be equal to 9.999. If I solve this, that is 2.303 into 3 divide by 0.693, I'll get it as 9.9, which is approximately equal to 10. So T 99.9% by T half is equal to 10, which therefore I can write it as T 99.9% is equal to 10 times T half. So, hence proved. So, I hope you have understood. Similarly, they can ask some more types of questions also. Okay. So, that's it for today. Next class, we'll be studying about temperature dependence of the rate of the reaction and activation energy. Okay. Thank you, my dear children. Stay tuned, stay focused.